Hello everyone and welcome back. So this episode is gonna be like, I don't even know. It's kind of a weird one, I guess, because I recorded a bunch of stuff, probably almost an hour worth of recording I had, and I was really unhappy with it. So yeah, I'm I'm just gonna try to redo everything in a more organized manner, and hopefully it will be a bit better. So I want to start with a pressure chamber from a pneumatic craft because that is the only way in the pack right now how to apply Fortune 15 on any tool that you can get from the hypothesis bosses. So need to make that one, and I'm gonna make just a temporary one for now at least. Just 4x4. I think one block. Like you can make it 3x3x3, but I have a feeling there might be some issues with that. So I'm gonna make at least one more. Okay, I'm gonna make the input output in the back. And for that you need the pressure chamber interfaces. And as you can see when I place it, it has this blue face to it, and behind it is yellow. So basically its input is blue, yellow is out. It depends on which side you place it. So I'm gonna place the second one from inside the chamber. So this one has direction that way, and it has the yellow face here. So this is gonna be the input, and this is gonna be the output. Like you can rotate them later with a wrench, but I don't have a wrench from this mod right now. Maybe I could make it maybe, but since I do not need it yet, I'm gonna skip it. Alright, so that's the chamber itself ready. So, need to actually give it pressure itself, and I'm gonna do it with, well, the basic stuff that is available for me right now at the start. I'm gonna do 3 normal air compressors, and I did make these security cards, and I think it's always a good idea to put them in everything. Like they're not expensive, it's just obsidian lapis and like some copper. It's very easy, I would say, at least if you're not like very early game, just starting the pack or something. And I will want to control these automatically, obviously, because they will just otherwise keep running. And if you have the security upgrade, yeah, they are venting it, but they're losing a lot of pressure that way. So I don't see that as a good option. And I think by default it is on always, but I'm going to put it on high. So they will require high signal to run. Yeah. So how I'm going to automate it is I'm going to put one redstone here. And this thing, if you look up it, where is it? This one. If you hold shift, you can see it's how it measures things, and it is redstone is 2 times what you pressure you have. So in this system, maximum it can do is 5 bars. But I don't want it to run till it reaches 5 bars, because these things will keep burning the single fuel piece and then stop. They're not going to just shut down instantly when they receive the signal. So you still need some kind of extra time basically for it to stop. So I'm gonna go for redstone signal of 9 that will run till it reaches 4.5 bars, and then it will stop. And there are all kind of ways how to do it. Like you could run normal redstone, like vanilla way, I guess. I don't want to do that. I find this easier, to be honest. So I'm gonna run the cable right here. And I will need this thing, which is, well, basically storage for the small integrated dynamics network. And what I'm gonna do is put these three on here. Those are like writers obviously are the ones that output, and reader is the one that, well, obviously reads. So what you want to do is you want to check for integer, which is reading exact redstone level, as you can see. It says here in the tooltip. So I want to put one card in here, and that basically kind of binds this card to this specific, well, not block because it's multi-parts, but this specific reader and this specific line. So this will give system kind of ability to have this as a kind of value known to the network. Usually, like you could say you want a very simple network. So you could say, for example, I don't know, here, if it receives any redstone, it will be true. This will change, and Boolean is basically yes or no. And for this kind of things, you usually want yes or no output. So we will have to do a little bit of programming. So I have now this value, which will read. I can, I guess, demonstrate it with a lever. If I put lever, this is 15. You can see it reads 15. If I had it, I don't know, let's say here, there is 14, it reads 14. So the general idea, what I want, is I want this to read and do any kind of logic when it reaches 9, which is where I want it to be. And how I'm going to do it is I'm going to take my logic programmer, and I need another value to compare it with. So for that I need integer, which is basically any value I want I can set for comparing, I don't know, item numbers in like thousands or something. This is basically any number. So there is my integer value 9. After that, what I want is I want the compressors to work only if it's below redstone 9. So I'm going to look for less than. It's this one. There is less or equal, so it would still work when it's 9 and stop when it goes past 9. I don't want that. I want just less than. And you want to kind of understand it. You want the value you compare less than 9. And then I put this card here, and there is the thingy, and it will output redstone to one of these if it is less than 9. But as you can see, there is this red cross, and the problem is the network doesn't, like, it sees basically compare this and this variable and then output, but it doesn't have the variables. They are in my inventory. That's why there is this variable store. You put the variable cards that you are reading for or comparing to in the variable store. Now the network knows what it's doing, and you can see there's a green check mark. Right now it's saying true, which means it is outputting redstone signal because the thing is correct. And well, we obviously have 3 more. And the easiest thing how to do with this kind of situation is if you put them together with the blank cards, they are copying each other. Well, not each other, but just duplicating. So this way I can have the 3 here. And theoretically, this is all good to go now. I'm gonna do a quick setup like this. Could use any kind of piping, but whatever. And I'm just gonna connect this with the wireless card to, not card, but connector to my system. And since it's temporary, I'm just gonna take one from the side. And this should start running now. Yeah, they're running. And they will be running till this pressure will build up to 4.5. At that point, it will reach redstone of 9, and it will stop making these run. But as I said, it will still burn down the single coal you have. That's why you have to be kind of careful. Like if I would set it to run till it reaches 9, which would be 5 bars, it would still burn the coal and it would start venting the steam in big quantities. Or if I didn't have the security upgrades, it would just blow up the machines. Or pipes, like depend. I guess it would be the pipe, but yeah, this mod still blows stuff up, so that's a thing. And I guess I could try to showcase it. I think I need more than 1 bar or something. I'm not sure actually about enchanting specifically how much pressure you need, but I'm gonna let it build up and then bring you back. Alright, it has been like 10 minutes maybe, something like that, and it is approaching the numbers we set for this. And yeah, these things are definitely not fast, especially early game. You can make them reasonably fast, but yeah, they're still kind of finicky, I guess. Like as you can see, it's like 4.5, so it's not instant, but it should switch in a sec. Yeah, 9. See, and now all of these are false. So they will burn off the coal and then they will stop. And yeah, it's because another thing is you kind of have to consider that the values across the network are not the same. As you can see, they're differing quite a bit here and there. And this isn't even the most extreme case. Like I've seen a lot bigger variations. But yeah, this should stop from previously what I tried right around 5. If it was a larger, like you can increase the capacity of these with the capacity cards, then it would not be so close. But yeah, as you can see, it has stopped. It does not burn the next coal because it has the redstone signal. Well, it doesn't have the redstone signal. And it's gonna even out, and yeah, it's, I guess, around 4.8. But yeah, if you want finer control, I guess you could just use, I don't know, like sticks or tiny coal, something like that, which burns out a lot faster. So that I suppose that would give a bit finer control regarding this. But yeah, this is now fully automatic. It stops when it's filled and kicks back on when it's lower. And I guess I could show an example. Oh, let's see. What do I want to do? Well, let's make a bow, I guess. Why not? So this enchantment extractor, it can take off the 15 enchantment level books from the items that you can get from the apothec bosses, and the library works for it as well. If I could write power, so you can take the 15 book out, and yeah, it's a lot of points. Like one book is like what, more than 15k. So yeah, if you want to like collect enough points in the library with the random low-level books, it's gonna be a good while. So, oh, let's see. I have this bow, and I don't know. Like it's not great. I tried it. I maybe will make a good bow at some point in the series. I guess I can just test it out with a random bow. That should be completely fine. So you have to come here, and you cannot put stuff in and take out with your hand, and you have to pipe in this thingy. So you put one in, the other, and it's very slow. Like you can put speed upgrades in these, up to 10 speed upgrades. That makes it a lot nicer. But yeah, you kind of just have to wait it out. There was a little bit of sound, and it's probably gonna... Yeah, so there is book without anything, and there's the bow, but yeah, you can't take it out. I tried it, and there is a power 15 fresh bow. So yeah, this is in the pack currently, far as I know, the only way that you can apply the level 15 books on tools or weapons or armors, whatever you choose to your liking, I guess, with those very high number enchantments. But yeah, that's the one thing, I guess. Alright, next I want to do the whole time crystal setup. To start out with, you need the budding amethyst. And there are a few ways how to get it. Like, you can get one as an item from Ep18, but not everyone, I guess, does that. So the intended way, I guess, is just to use one advanced swapper. You need to give power to this. And the area is correct. I just want a single budding amethyst, so that all seems to be good to go. I will need the button. Okay, so that's all good. And to bind these, you want to right-click on the one you're sending from, not shift right-click. And in my case, it's gonna be right here on my roof, because it's gonna be a temporary setup, so I don't want to build some specific thing for it. And I just need to give this power and right click again. That makes them bound to each other, and you can see it's bound to this specific one in the overworld wherever I found the amethyst. So now I have to go back to that one and press the button. Alright, here we are at the amethyst, and if I press this button it should go away. Yep, that's good. So I can remove this one, I don't need it anymore. And to reset the settings of it, you can craft it by itself in the crafting window. That will get rid of any kind of settings you've saved in it. Alright, now I have it here on the roof of my base. So I can get rid of this and reset settings for it as well. And I'm gonna do like 3 by 3 by 3 areas, kind of. So I'm gonna put it in one side and other. And there's gonna be advanced sensor on top of this. So for this one, I just want to set the area, and it will be something like this for 3 by 3 by 3. So that is all good. I just need to give it power, and that's it. So this one is set. Same with this one. The area +1 +1. Okay, that should be correct. And this is on pulse mode. That's all good. Just need to give power to this one as well. All right. So the sensor. For sensor, I don't need big area. I need only the single block because I don't care about the crystals. So that is all good to go. You want to set this to allow list. And the rest is fine. Now you want to put the budding time crystal block here. And you want to right click it and set it to, oh, this is in a way. And it says stage any. You don't want stage any. Basically how it works is stage 0 is this kind of dark greenish color, which is kind of depleted crystal. This is going to be stage, it will travel back here. So you wanted this sensor to recognize stage 1. That's going to be when it's going to charge up in the overworld and is going to be ready to send to the nether. So you want the one in the overworld to be set to stage 1. And yeah, don't forget this allow list, because I didn't notice that I had mine on deny list before, and I had a lot of thinking to do there what I did wrong. So this all seems good to go. I am not gonna give it power yet. I know that you can run into a little bit of issues if you don't have these bound yet, and then it receives signal and stuff. It still will work, but it could be like confusing. So right now I'm not gonna power it. I don't want it to like do anything yet. I'm gonna go to the Nether and set another setup like this. Alright, here I am in the Nether, well, more like on the roof of it, and I'm gonna look at the chunk boundaries because you want this whole thing to be chunk loaded. So again, sensor, 3 blocks gap. Well, not sensor, these are swappers. Sensor is this one. Alright, so I can already give power to these because these can be powered, it doesn't matter. So area for this one, kind of similar as before, 3 by 3 by 3, that's all good. Same with this one. Alright, that's all good as well. Rest is all good. This one, again, it's gonna be the middle where the amethyst is gonna travel. Allow list. And on this one, I will want stage 2. So when it reaches stage 2, it is ready to be sent to the end. So that's all good. Again, I'm not gonna give it power because I have not bound them. Okay, now I'm in the end. Same stuff here. I want to be in the chunk that I'm force loading. So one goes like this, again with 3 block gap. Advanced sensor on top, and I can power this one and this one. Again, same as before. Need to set up this to be 3 by 3 by 3. So that's all good. And now this one. So this is all good as well. And this one, I want to put, again, allow list. And this time I want it to be stage 0 because it will stay in overworld, it will reach stage 1. It will travel to the nether. Then it will reach stage 2. Then it will travel here. Then it turns into stage 3. And that is the stage it wants to be producing the time crystals. All these clusters, it's going to be growing them. And when it depletes, then you want to send it back to the overworld. So for that you need stage 0. So this last one is in the end, it's going to be stage 0 detecting. And that should be more or less all good to go. So now I'm going to go back and kind of kickstart the whole process. Well, actually, no, I'm going to bind, I guess, all these at first. So it doesn't matter, I guess, which one I start from. I'm going to start with this one in the end. So this is going to be sending back to the overworld. All right, so binding it to this one. Now this one, I'm going to bind and send to the nether. And again, bind and click on this one. And now we bind it to this. So all of them are bound kind of in a loop. So that's all good to go. Now, I want to turn this into the time crystal itself. And you do it with the shadow pulse goo. But before I do that, actually, I'm gonna place this so it doesn't start growing crystals. But I want to get rid of these because I want to kind of accelerate the whole process. And I'm gonna do that with the growth accelerators from AE2. They work very well for this setup. Now I can get rid of these temporary blocks. I can already power them, and it's gonna start growing this one faster, but that is completely fine. So now let's feed the goo some skulk so it can start doing its work. As you can see, it transformed that it almost instantly charged, because the growth accelerators help with not only growing the crystals, they help with transformation of the crystal itself as well. So I can remove the goo now. It doesn't need to be in the setup. So now I can actually give this power, and it should, yeah, okay, it sent it to the nether. So see you in the nether. All right, now it is in the nether, and it already has transformed into the orange version, which is again the stage 2. So if I power this, it's instantly going to the end. And now we're in the end, and it has already transformed, and it is starting to grow the time crystals. So I want to harvest them, obviously. I'm gonna do that with advanced block breaker. Let's see, I want to set the area to be like something like this, I guess. And 3, because they're never gonna grow on the sides, because there's the growth accelerators in my setup. If you don't use the growth accelerators, you want to set this to 3 by 3 by 3 as well. So I want this to filter items and allow list, and I want it to be time crystals. So it's not gonna like break anything that doesn't drop a time crystal. And normally, I guess you would need some kind of collection system, but I have bound this to a dimensional chest in my base. So it's gonna instantly send the time crystals to that one, so I don't need any kind of collection system. And it's breaking those. It's gonna grow new ones. Actually, I can hide the thing. All right, and now it depleted. So now it's back to stage 0, as we specified it here. So if I give it power, it will send it to the overworld. Oh, I know what's wrong. I didn't set this range, I needed one more. Yeah, so now it's working perfectly fine. And yeah, the whole loop is very fast because of the growth accelerators. If you don't use them, it still takes a little bit till it is ready to do the loop in each kind of dimension. But this way it's almost instant, as you can see. So yeah, this is the whole setup ready to go. And it's not too complicated in my opinion. Like I followed myself a tutorial as well by Pilpo. But yeah, I mean, there's all kind of ways how to do it. I saw Direwolf himself do kind of large field with a lot of these without acceleration. I guess that's also a way to do it, but I think this is rather compact and easy setup. So yeah, something like that. Yeah, okay, another thing I did was I did put this ergonomic source link in the middle. Probably didn't even need to, it was probably capping out even here. But yeah, it's sending stuff to this unobtainium source jar, and unobtainium one isn't necessary. I was just kind of testing things out. But yeah, it's basically automatically sending it to source jar, and under it I have an extended import bus. Not sure if you even need extended, it might be fine with regular one. And yeah, now I have the source stored in my system. So that's at least I'm not wasting it, because I know that I will need a lot of source later on. And I made 256 million storage. I don't think I will ever fill it. Like, I wasn't sure, because I remember the numbers were a bit weird. But as you can see, I'm only like 50,000 out of 26 million bytes. So yeah, and it's already at 54 million source. So this one was definitely an overkill. But yeah, that's another thing I did. And I was trying things out, and I made this source jar. I couldn't figure out how to get it work. I was asking around in the ATM Discord as well. And basically, the information I got is that this thing is pretty much useless. Like it's, if you even can get it work, it's very hard. It's easier to just pipe in and out of the source jars with the import-export buses. So yeah, that's what I went for. So that's with the source. Now I want to touch upon a little bit on these new upgrades. Well, these aren't new, but the recipes are new for the tier 3 and 4. But before I do that, I want to make a full disclaimer that there is a lot of talk going around about removing these from the pack. So yeah, just keep in mind that if you do make system for all of these, like crafting and gather like resources for them, it might be useless. It might even be in next update gone from the pack or something. But since I have them made, I kind of want to like show a little bit. So the tier 3 is pretty much the same. It's just that it requires a lot more pink slime. I think before it was like what, 1 bucket, right? Now it's 3 buckets. Tier 4, the rest of the ingredients is nothing special, but you need essence. And I personally am getting it with, well, I repurposed kind of a little bit this farm. I have a mob crusher here, and I'm basically just letting it run. So I need to turn it on, I guess. And yeah, I'm using the spawner. So it just runs things and it pumps everything into the system with the export bus. So I don't need it running, I guess, for now. I have over 2,000 buckets. I think that's gonna be good enough for a while. Like if I need more, I'll just come back and turn it on. And there are definitely better farms that you could do for this. But yeah, that's what I'm using. So next is Sludge. And the only way how to get Sludge is a plant gatherer. And that's why I have repurposed this one. I turned my site one off for now. And I put in +4 range upgrade, which makes it basically +4. By default, it harvests 1 by 1. So +4 makes it expand basically each side. So it makes it 9 by 9. And I have tier 8 upgrades. It's like very fast with them. It does create quite a bit lag as well, but it is what it is, I guess. Since I need the sludge, that's the only way how to get it. So I'll probably stop it after a while and turn back on the site or replace with a pylon. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, the thing with Gatherer is you need to give it ether gas. Because if you don't give it ether gas, it's not it's gonna harvest the whole crop. It's gonna remove it basically, and then you need this thing, plant sower, to replant the seeds, which is first of all, it slows down the whole process a lot. It would probably screw up the system where I need, for example, the dragon egg seeds exactly here because I have the cracks under it. So that would probably not work, but if you give it ether gas, it just kind of like soft harvests them. It doesn't break the crop, it just takes the essence. So yeah, that's what I have for the sludge. Next is biofuel, and I have a very small setup here. So basically, well, this is basically just extracting the biofuel itself. Under it, I have the eternal water block that gives it water. And this one just exports all different 9 things. You want to have different things here. You don't want to just stuff it full with wheat. For example, you want, because it has efficiency and it's gonna pump them full back in. But as you can see, if I take it out, the efficiency drops, so it makes less for the same amount of seeds or dyes or whatever. And I guess one of the easiest ways is to just use dye seeds and craft different dyes, I suppose. I feel like that would be the easiest way to go about it. But yeah, I have it set on redstone high, and you can lock inputs, and you can see if I take it out, only carrot can go here. So you don't have to bother with like special counted exporting or something. You just, because these slots cannot accept anything else than they have here specified with this lock input. And here I have just a level emitter. Every time it drops below 3000 buckets in system, it's gonna output a signal and make this run. And I guess I can just increase it 1000 for a bit and see it starts running. It pumps out the biofuel, and it's quite fast, even with tier 4s. As you can see, it's going up very fast. So it's kind of, I need more than enough with one, in my opinion. I don't want it, I guess, to run more, but, and yeah, I have the crafting card here. Normally I would probably use requester for it, but since this is most likely temporary setup, I don't want to bother with setting up requesters for each of these items. So that's why I have just a crafting card. But yeah, that's about all the setup for the biofuel, and that's for tier 6. And tier 7 and 8 just uses ether gas, though a lot compared to what it was before. This one is 7 buckets, and this one is 8. It used to be just 1 bucket for tier 4, I think. Or I think it was tier 4 that needed ether gas, right? But yeah, it's like 8 times more for this. But yeah, that's how you go about different liquids you need for these. The rest is just the same completely as before in this machine. Just craft it on blocking mode and everything is completely fine. But yeah, these things are very fast. I guess I could show there is a hydro bed with tier 8s. And let's see if I want to, I don't know, let's say I'm gonna test it on brass seed. This is how fast it is growing, the thing. It's very fast. It's kind of like, it is still laggy, yeah, but if you need something very fast, I guess that's an option how to go about it. I'm personally not gonna use tier 8s, I think. I will move my farm to hydro beds, I think, but I will probably use just like tier 4s or something. Because I don't need that much essences, honestly. If I will need some specific essence as much, I will probably put tier 8s in that specific hydro bed. But yeah, so that's for the hydro bed. And actually, I have a setup running. I did one in Deep Dark in the Ancient City. That was for all the Embeddium, and I had it run for a while. That's why I have now 14 million all the Embeddium dust. After that, I had it in the Nether, in the Warp Forest for Vibranium. And now I have it in the end, and I can show how fast it actually is going. As you can see, there is just a tier 8 efficiency, and these are just full tier 8s. And this is how fast it is making stuff. That's quite insane, honestly, in my opinion. And I don't even really need more unobtainium. I have already 4 million. The only reason I'm running it because I want to stock up on obsidian, because I decided since I have this system already going, I might as well just keep it till I have enough for 18 all the mod stars. Because you need like, which one? Yeah, so you need 5x, so that's roughly 60,000, and I need 18 of those. So yeah, it's actually I might have already enough, but I don't know, I'll just run it a little bit more. It is very power hungry. As you can see, it's like roughly 72,000 FE per tick only with 8 of these. So yeah, it does need a lot of power, but I think it is reasonable for the speed it goes. So yeah, that's with the whole industrial foregoing stuff. Alright, so the last thing I did was I finally, with all the pressure chamber, and I did the time crystals. So I did make Eclipse alloy pickaxe. I put the Fortune 25 on it. Unbreaking 10 makes it not consume any durability, so that was nice. I'm not using the Apotheosis 7x7. I'm actually using this hammer upgrade 7x7. Insta break is on, and drops teleporter just puts it in the interface right there. So yeah, I have this system now running, and it is pointing like on this block as it kind of breaks 7x7 as if you were standing in front. So the system is running, it's all good, supposedly, but it's kind of stupid now because yeah, like just last episode I made the whole thing, and now I'm actually gonna tell you that I have decided to not fully remove it, but I probably will go to maybe like 3x3 breaking. And the reason for it is lag. This system causes massive lag. I don't know why exactly it is that bad, because I had it in ATM 9 and I had it running full blast, not even 10 ticks. I had it with integrated dynamics 2 tick delay, and it was showing through all the ores, and it was not causing much lag. I was kind of surprised about it. I was running Spark and Observable and all that, and it was holding up very well. But for some reason, this version, I don't know if it's because Fortune is that high or what's exactly the problem here. But the lag is quite big, and I will try to remember put on the screen. I have observable from when it was running full speed. I don't really have any ores now to show. I guess I have some, but well, I can do these mithril ones, I guess, why not? But yeah, this is it's running completely fine, and even on like 10 tick delay, it's causing, like, if you check this third line on the left side, you can see integrated server, and it's running kind of like stable-ish. There are some spikes here and there, but when this was running, it was like each break basically spiked it at least 5 milliseconds, which I'm not big fan of. And like when it was running full speed with like 2 tick delay, my MS just jumped at least 10 milliseconds, which means basically 4 of these setups and your server starts slowing down your game, like internal server, which I'm not fan of, making such contraptions that cause that much lag. Because if you compare, like I showed you the screenshot from the breaker, how much lag it causes, right? It was like more than 10,000 microseconds. If you compare it, while it's idle, it's of course not doing much, but this whole system, quad soul surge, the 20 married crushers, as you can see, the numbers are like, there are some few only past 10. Most of them are under 10. Like there is one 20, 24, but I think those are the highest ones, right? So I could put down like probably 50 of these setups for the same amount of lag that this single breaker going full speed causes. So yeah, I don't really need it even running, honestly. And the reason for it is because I'm kind of going for the Eldritch Miners, right? And they don't really give ores, like raw ores, not raw, but like the blocks of ores. They give only the raw versions, and they're very fast. Like you can't see it, I guess, here. How could I? But yeah, this system is running very well, and almost all of these are pretty much from the lamps that I have. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have any ore blocks incoming from any of my systems. That's the thing. I was getting a bunch of them from the industrial foregoing drill, from the deep dark and from the nether, but for example the one in the end right now, it doesn't give me any ore blocks. That's why this system is completely idle. So I don't know if I'm gonna tear it down, rebuild it. I guess I could just leave it as it is, since it's not causing any lag while it's idling. And if I ever need to process bunch of ores or something, I have it in place, and I can just suffer through the lag a little bit, and then it goes idle again. So yeah, well, I guess the main point is, if you make this kind of system, just be aware that it is gonna cause massive lag if you try to like use it as a main source of your resources. I probably would avoid doing something like that on a server if you play with others. If you play by yourself, kind of, well, pick your way, I guess. I mean, it's if you're fine with some extra lag with this kind of system, that's fine. Like it's doing quite well. I guess I could try a little bit with uraninite. Let's see. Raw, I have 700, right? Let's do the regular ones. Like what? 10 stacks, okay. So I have 770. And I can even reduce this. I think I left the block placers on 5 tick delay, so there's no point for that fast. But yeah, I had 700, right? And now it's like almost 17,000. It just from 10 stacks, so 600 something ores. So it's a good system, all right. Like if you need a lot of ores processed, it's great, but yeah, just be aware of the lag. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, for the general resource production, I did put down the married miners, not married, the eldritch miners. We have the system right here, and for now I'm using Super Factory Manager. I'm not sure, like I'm not very happy about like 0.6 spikes. I have a feeling I'm just gonna do like a tower. Right now it's 3 by 8, so 24. I think I'm just gonna do one more layer for 32 lamps and use A2 import buses. But as you can see, it's giving like whole blocks rather fast without any acceleration. So with 32 of them running, I don't think I will need to worry about any materials at all. So I will think of a nice spot for this kind of tower and probably hook it up with A2 then. But yeah, though, so that's about it, what I had going in the scrapped episode, I guess you could say. And another thing I want to do is I want to make the time bee, because I guess since I already got through the whole setup of time crystals, might as well just get a time wand and a time bee. And I want to do time bee instead of just the crystal mining kind of. Because it actually gives you time fluid right away, so you don't have to do the whole in-world transformation with this, like dropping the time crystal in. It's not a big deal to do it, but I just don't see a reason to do it if I can just put down a bee and already use existing setup. Alright, so I was checking how much I have recorded, and it seems quite a bit already, so I'm gonna have to call it an episode right here. Next time I'm gonna definitely do the time bee, and I guess I have kind of a plan for what I wanna do next time. But yeah, so if you maybe found any good information or something fun in this video, give it a like, and see you next time. Bye!